Uprooted Theatrical Studios presents.
It's 10 Tips Tuesday.
Hello, my name is Jenny Wallace, and I have been a professional actor, director, costume designer, and theater educator for the past 35 years. Today I'm going to share with you some tips that I picked up along the way that I hope will be helpful to you in your theatrical careers. The first one is be on time. Whether it's for an audition, a rehearsal, a costume fitting, be on time. In theater language, that translates into 15 minutes early. Number two is be prepared. Know your lines when you're supposed to know your lines. Show up at the costume fitting with the proper undergarments. Show up at your audition with your headshots and resume. Anything you're supposed to have, be prepared. Number three, clearly articulate what you're trying to say. Theater is a collaborative art. We all have to work together. Whether I am working with other actors as a director, whether I'm a costume designer, working with the other designers at the production table, clearly articulate what you want to say and what your ideas are. This one was hard for me to learn. I tend to think people can just read my mind, and they can't. I have to tell them what I want and be really specific about it. Number four is listen. Listen to those other designers at the table. Listen to the director. Listen to your stage manager. Listen to everybody involved. Everybody brings something to the table, and everybody's important. You are not any more important than anybody else on the collaborative team of theater. So really listen to what other people are saying. Next is learn. Learn from the people that you're listening to. I have been doing this a long time, and every time I do a show, I learn. I learn from my fellow actors, I learn from my director, I learn from my fellow designers. There's always something to learn. Never stop learning. Next is take a note. If the director gives you a note, it's not personal. The director is there to make sure you're giving your best work. So take a note. Don't argue with the director when they give you a note. Don't give 1,000 reasons why you didn't do the note correctly the first time. Just smile, say yes or note taken, and move on. If you have a problem with the note the director gave you, in the group note session after the rehearsal is not the time to take that up with the director. So in the moment, just say thank you for the note, and then address it afterwards with the director. The whole cast doesn't need to know what your issues are with that note. So be respectful, be polite, address it later, but take the note. The director's there to help you. Next, make sure your headshot looks like you. We always get told this as actors, and still, when I'm directing, the stage manager will bring me a stack of headshots at the audition. I'll spread those headshots out on the table, ready for the actors to walk in. And every time I have an audition, actors will walk in and I don't know who they are. They don't look like any of these headshots that are in front of me. So it's really, really important. And I know headshots are expensive, but it's just part of the business. It's part of what we have to do. So if you gain weight, lose weight, color your hair, cut your hair, you got to get a new headshot. You have to look like your headshot. Next is be off book early. This one's a little controversial because there are some actors and directors that say, no, get off book at rehearsal. Don't get off book beforehand, because you come to the rehearsal with preconceived ideas about how to deliver the line or what the intention is behind the line, and then you'll get locked into that and won't be able to change it. Well, I kind of disagree with that, because I think any actor worth their salt can change a line reading when the director says, I need you to change your line reading. So if you can't, this might not be the business for you, because this is all about being adaptable. I encourage people to learn their lines outside of rehearsal and show up off book, because that's when you really have the freedom to explore your character and play with different line readings, and you're available then to just listen and be in the moment instead of constantly thinking, oh God, what's my next line? So I really encourage being off book as early as possible. Then you have that flexibility to just kind of go with the flow and change it up really quickly if you need to, without having to worry about what comes next. My next tip is know yourself. This means not only know your type, obviously you should know your type. Know what age range you can play. Be realistic about it. If you're unsure about what your age range is, ask somebody, ask a director. because people are always really happy to help. They really want you to succeed, so ask that. We're not all an ingenue. Some people are character actors, which is fantastic. They actually get more work than the ingenues. So just know what type you are and what roles you should be auditioning for. It's always disappointing when we don't get a role we auditioned for, but you can kind of head some of that off if you know what you should and should not be auditioning for. So know your type. Also know yourself, your strengths and your weaknesses. We all have them, so we all try to play up our strengths, right? Choose audition material that's going to play to your strengths, not your weaknesses. But know your weaknesses as well, because those are areas you need to work on, and we all have areas where we can improve and always keep working to make ourselves better actors and better artists. My last tip, and this is the most important one, is be easy to work with. I promise you, being easy to work with will get you more jobs than talent any day. There are actors that I have directed that have been brilliant in the role, but have been so difficult to work with that I thought I'm never gonna, it's not worth it. I'm not gonna cast that person again. So theater is a small community. It may not seem like that, but everybody knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. So you may think that you're just in a small market and those directors and actors in that market don't know people in New York and LA and Chicago and Atlanta. They do. They do. So I get calls quite a bit saying, hey, do you know this person? Have you ever worked with this person? What do you think of this person? How reliable are they? And, you know, I like to be able to say, yes, this person's great. Hire them. They're fantastic. But every now and then I have to say, well, they're good, but they're not very reliable. So being easy to work with, being reliable, being nice, being pleasant to your fellow actors, to the director, to the crew, to the designers. Be nice, be easy to work with. I promise you it will get you more work than talent. So I hope these tips are helpful to you, and I've enjoyed talking to you, and good luck. Break a leg.